Hello traders, welcome back to the channel. In today's episode, you'll be learning how to identify a valid pullback from an invalid pullback. This video is highly requested by the subscribers, so that's why I'm creating it today. All right, so you'll be learning how to identify a valid pullback from an invalid pullback. Basically, the market moves in three waves. The market moves in A, B, C pattern. All right, a lot of different traders call it different names. If it's an uptrend, some call it impulsive, corrective, continuation. Some call it A, B, C pattern. Others call it rally, base, rally. Okay. And then on the vice versa, in a downtrend market, some call it impulsive, corrective, continuation. Some call it A, B, C pattern, and others call it drop, base, drop. So I'm going to explain all that in this video. So make sure you watch the entire video and make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're brand new. And also push the bell notification so that when I post new videos, you get notified right away. Also, I have created a smart money trading ebook, and it's going to be on sale for the next few days. It already became a bestseller on Gumroad, so you can go ahead and click the link in the description and take advantage of that. All right. So without wasting time, let me show you guys what it looks like first on the illustration, and then we're going to go to the real chart and then explain even more. All right, let's say this is an uptrend market, okay? Let's say this is an uptrend market. I always used to do this. I like to do this because it basically gives the students more advantage. All right, give me 1 second. Let me just draw this real quick. All right, so let's say this is impulsive. This is called corrective, which is a pullback, and this is called continuation, okay? So a lot of traders call it different names, okay? So some traders call this impulsive, corrective, continuation. Some call it rally, base, rally. Some call it A, B, C pattern, okay? So this is the A, this is the B pattern, and this is the C pattern. So the B pattern is always the pullback. So as a trader, it is very crucial that you identify if this pullback is valid or invalid. All right. In a downtrend market, this is how it's going to work out. Okay. In a downtrend market, it's just the vice versa. So this is drop or impulsive, corrective, continuation. All right. Just like I mentioned over here, different traders call it different names. So don't get confused with the names. Just focus on the concept itself. All right. So here we have the A move, B, which is the corrective, and then C, which is the continuation. So our focus will be this corrective. Our focus will be this one here. All right. So as a trader, it is very important that you identify either you're trading a pullback or a continuation or impulsive. So if you cannot identify this pullback, then you're not going to be a trader whatsoever. You're going to be just wasting your time, and later on you'll be confused and most likely give up, okay? And become the 90% that lose money in the trading industry. All right. So some call this drop, base, drop. So this base, which is the pullback, usually they call it the base, okay? So drop, base, drop, or some call it A, B, C pattern, or impulsive, corrective, continuation. You can call it, either way, it doesn't really matter. For me, I simply call it impulsive, corrective, continuation. I don't like to confuse anyone. In my channel, I always try to simplify so that even a new trader can understand what I'm teaching here, okay? All right. So how are we going to be able to identify this? Okay, let me just give you guys some drawing, and then we're going to go to the real chart. Okay, let's take time and do this real quick. Okay, so here we have, let me do this quickly. Here we have an impulse. Okay, here we have an impulse. Okay, let's say we have another impulse here. And let's say we have another impulse here. All right. So this is called impulsive. You see, each candle high is protected. So you can always put, the wicks here We can do this. Okay, we can also put the wicks because the wicks count. Very important because they're also a price. Because as we all know, everything you see on the chart is a transaction that happened between the buyers and the sellers. All right, so this is an impulsive. So now we need the corrective move. All right, so this one here will be a corrective. Okay, but the question is this a valid pullback? Okay, is this a valid pullback? A lot of traders might say this is a valid pullback, but it is not a valid pullback. And the reason why is because the high of this recent bullish candle and the low of this recent bullish candle is both protected. Okay, that means the buyers are still in control, so they're not ready to rest. Okay, they're not ready to rest, so still the market is going in an uptrend. So this is not a valid pullback. This is called an inside bar. Okay, if let's say if this candle here breaks the low of this candle, then now we can say that now we have a pullback. Why? Because the low of the bullish candle is violated. So now we are in a bearish counter trend. Okay, now we are in a bearish counter trend. All right, so your job will be to identify when this is valid before we end up with a continuation to the upside. Okay, before we end up with the continuation to the upside. Okay, all right, so your job will be to identify this one. Let's say the higher time frame is an uptrend impulsive and the lower time frame is in a corrective, which is a pullback phase. Okay, so let's say if you're trading this in a lower time frame, you have to be able to know that you are trading a counter trend or a pullback before the market resumes in the original direction, which is the uptrend. Okay, all right, so in a downtrend, how does it look like in a downtrend market? In a downtrend market, this is how it's going to look like. Let's say this is a downtrend bearish candle. Okay, let's say this is a bearish candle. It has wicks both ends. Okay, the wicks are very important. A lot of traders, they don't worry about the wicks, but the wicks tell you the high and the low. Okay, that's very important. Okay, so this is a downtrend impulsive or drop. Okay, this is what we have. Okay, and we have another candle just dropping again. We have another candle dropping. All right, so here we can identify that the market is in a downtrend. We don't see any pullback yet. And then let's say a bullish candle formed here. Okay, let's say a bullish candle formed here. All right, it has a wick right here, low, and it has its open here. Okay, mid high. Okay, it's a, open, low, open, close, and high. All right, but we can see that this is not going to be a valid pullback. Why? Because the high, which is here, of this bearish candle and the low of this last bearish candle is both protected. So when this candle is both high and low is protected, that tells you that the market, the bearish, or the sellers are not ready to rest, or we're not in a bull and the counter trend yet. Okay, so how do we know if this is a pullback? Okay, the only way we can identify is a valid pullback is if this bearish candle, this bullish candle high right there goes above, okay, this candle high here. Okay, so now we are in a pullback phase. Okay, another candle opened. All right, so now we're still in the pullback. All right, so this is another candle that's telling us we're still in the pullback. So if this is the higher time frame and you identify this is an impulsive on the higher time frame, and when you go to the lower time frame, let's say you're trading this or you're scalping this, so you just have to know that you are trading a pullback, and you have to know where the red zone is or where the supply before the reversal is, okay, or the key level. All right, good. So now, until we resume to a downtrend, this is what we have. So now we have a bearish candle. Let me change the color here. We have a bearish candle resuming here, okay? So this tells us that we are now back to the bearish phase. The counter trend is finished, okay? So now we are back to continuation. So this is A, B, C pattern. All right, good. Now that we have a good understanding of how it looks like, I'm going to go to the chart and explain even more. All right, good. Let me start with this area here. All right, let me start with this area here. We can see that the price was going down, creating lower highs, lower lows, breaking this structure here to the downside and grabbing a little bit of liquidity and then reversing right away. Okay, reversing right away. So it grabbed a little bit of liquidity, but it didn't close below it. So it kind of changed directions right after that. So, okay. So now that we're going to start with this impulsive, okay? We're going to start with this move here. So now we have a couple of green bullish candles, okay? We can see that the way we can do it is, let me just do this quickly. Let me do this quickly. All right. So now, let me change the color here, make it black. So now we can see that the high and the low of this candle is protected. Now we're going to move to the next candle. Okay. Same thing. It's all protected. So we don't see any bearish candle closing or taking out the high or the low. The low of this candle. So that means we are still in a impulsive phase. So now we move to the next one and then you mark the high and the low of this bullish candle. And we can see that we are still in a bullish continuation, okay? We don't see any pullback yet. And then we get over here, we have the high and the low, both right there marked. But we have a candle that wicked below the previous candle. So now we can say that we have a pullback here, okay? If I go to the lower time frame, like the 1 hour, you're going to be able to see that this is a pullback, okay? Let me show you what it looks like. All right. So make sure you watch the entire video and make sure you take notes and make sure you practice this on the real chart. So we can see that this is a valid pullback and then a continuation. Now let's go back to the 4-hour time frame again to be very precise and continue the way it was. Okay, now we have an impulsive from here after the pullback to here. Okay, all protected. But now we can see that the last bullish candle, high and low, is wicked, or the price went below the low of the previous or of the recent bullish candle. So now once you see the candle going below this candle here, this tells you that you are in a counter trend or a pullback phase. So this is the A, B, and then we have the continuation. So now here we have another continue. The pullback's finished over here. Once this candle go up, it finished. So now we have a continuation. Okay, we have a continuation. This candle bottom high and low is protected. And then we have a candle here. That candle right there. This is not a pullback, okay? Okay, let me just leave it here, okay? So this candle is here. This is what you call an inside bar, okay? This is what you call an inside bar. Until this candle is, violated, this candle here, both high and low, is both protected. So you can see that this candle low and high are both protected. So this is what they call an inside bar. This is not a pullback yet, okay? So you need that confirmation of this candle here opened bullish, but the sellers started pushing it down and creating a pullback, okay? So now we can see that the recent high and the low of this candle here is wicked. So now you are in a pullback phase. So this is a pullback here. This is a valid pullback, okay? But this one here is not a valid pullback. but this is a valid pullback. Okay, and now from here to this candle high and low is protected. This candle high is still low protected, and this candle high and low, we mark it, and we can see that we have a wick below it. So this means this is a pullback again. This is a valid pullback. If you go to the lower time frame, it's going to show you a full chunk of candles, okay? But now we are on a 4-hour time frame. That's why it doesn't show that many candles. Okay, we can see that this high and the low of this candle is violated. So now this is an A, B, and then continuation. All right. So now the market resumed, going up, protecting both high and low of the candles, protecting both high and the low of the candles. And then right here, we can see that we have a wick. And now this tells you that this is a pullback and then a continuation again. Okay, why is this? Is this a pullback? Okay, I will show you why this is a pullback. If we go to the lower time frame, like the 1 hours, let me circle this so that you guys can see what it looks like. This area here is going to show you a full pullback. Okay, all right. Now let me move this way. All right. All right, as you can see on the 1 hour time frame, once we leave the 4-hour time frame, on the 1 hour time frame, you have a valid pullback, and then the market started continuing to the upside. All right, now let me go back to the 4-hour time frame again. All right. So now we have another impulsive, we have another corrective, and then we have another continuation. So a lot of you guys might think that this is a pullback. This is not a pullback. Why this is not a pullback is because if you look at the high and the low of this bullish candle, is both protected. So this tells you this is just an inside bar. So this entire thing will be one impulsive move. So this entire thing will be one impulsive move, okay? Until here, we have one impulsive move. And then we have a little bit, we have a pullback here because price went below the low of this candle, okay? Went below of this candle, did a little bit of pullback, and then continued to the upside, okay? And then we have a drop now again, right? We have a drop, okay? So over here you can see that the price started going down, okay? Protecting both the high and the low of the candles. This guy high and low bearish. This bearish candle is protected. So this is not a pullback. This is an inside bar. So now we continue until here. So this entire thing again will be one impulsive or drop, okay? So we don't have any pullback until we retraced above this high of this candle. All right. So now the price started trading above this candle week. So now we have a pullback. Again, we have a continuation to the downside. Okay. And now we have a pullback here crossing above the high of this candle and then continue to the downside. This is not a pullback. Okay, guys. This candle here is not a pullback. So the price started going down until here. And now we have a pullback because the price traded above the high of this candle. And now we have a continuation to the downside. Continue. Both high and the low of this candles are protected. No pullback yet until the high of this candle is violated. Okay. Once the high of this candle is violated, now you have a pullback. Okay. And now we have a continuation to the downside again. Okay. And then a pullback, and then down, and then price started going up again. Okay, all this that you see, every high and the low of this candle is protected. So this is low, high. This is an inside bar because it did not trade outside of the high and the low of the candle. Still respecting the previous candle high and low. So this is still impulsive. still protecting, and then the low of this candle is violated. So now this is going to be a pullback, a little bit of continuation, okay, until here, price traded. So one impulsive move here, okay, and then price continued to go into the downside, okay, protecting both high and low of the candle, and then breaking the high of this candle, and then continuing to the downside, and then price started going up again. All right, so now we can see that. All right, in this drop move here, the high and the low of this bearish candle is protected. The high and the low of this bearish candle is protected. Same thing here, but the high of this candle is violated. So now the market started reversing. Okay, the high is protected, but the low is broken. So now the low is broken. So this tells you that we are in a pullback phase. The market went up all the way, protecting the high and the low of this both candles, but this candle low is violated. So now right here, we have a pullback. If I go to the lower time frame, like the 1 hour, is going to show you what it looks like in a full diagram. Okay, let me just show you how it looks like on the 1 hour time frame. All right, on the 1 hour time frame, we can see that this is a valid pullback. You can see that, guys. All right, so now let me go back to the 4 hour time frame again. So the whole entire idea is being able to identify when you are in a pullback phase. All right, so here, let's say you're trading this move. Okay, you're trading this move here. Okay, this small move, it's not even a big deal anyways. Okay, we know that we are in an uptrend market, so you want to go with the direction of the market. You never want to trade against the trend. If you go to the lower time frame, you need to know where the red zone is. So let's say this is a drop, okay, or an impulsive drop, and the high and the low of each candle, the high of each candle is protected, but the low is broken. So this tells you this is a continuation. High protected, low continuation. High protected, low continuation. Still, all these candles that you see, okay, all these candles that you see, except when we break the high of this candle. All right, so now you can see that the pullback is finished, and now we're going to be continuing to the upside. Okay, continue to the upside, pullback, continue to the upside. Still, this is one move. This is one move until we get here, because you can see this candle high and low is protected. This candle, oh, this is a pullback right here. Sorry, this is a pullback because the low is broken. So now we have a valid pullback, and now we have a continuation. We have a continuation high, low is protected, high is broken. So now we continue buying until we get here. Okay, the low of this candle now is broken to the downside. Now this is a pullback, and then a continuation to the upside. Okay, now this is another pullback here. Okay. Pullback here, and then market continue to the upside. Once we break the high of this candle, the market is about to reverse, continue to the upside. So this is how you are able to identify a valid pullback. Okay, anything that's created within a candle is not a pullback. Like, let's say, can this be called a pullback? No, because the high and the low is both protected. So these candles until this candle is created, the low and the high of this candle is still protected. So this is not a valid pullback until we have this last candle that's telling us that, hey, now it's time to exit. So if you are trading, let's say a swing trader, and you are trading this candle, okay, you know that this is a pullback, but until the candle goes below this low here of this bullish candle, still you hold your position. Okay, and then the market started reversing to the upside, going up again. Okay, going up again. The high and the low of this candle is a little bit violated. Market went up, and then it started going down a little bit, corrective phase, and then now continuation to the upside. All right, so if you're trading or if you're scalping this on the lower time frame, you have to know that you're going to be heading on this demand zone here, and the market is going to continue to the upside. So let's say if you're trading this on the lower time frame, you're going to have to know that the market is going to be reversing around this demand zone here. So if you're trading this on the lower time frame, you got to know where the red zone is. So this is going to be your demand zone before the continuation of the price breaking this structure. All right, we're going to talk about this later on, but today the focus is only identifying a valid pullback from an invalid pullback. So this is how it's going to continue basically. If you have learned anything, I'm going to try to stop it from here because it's going to take a long time. Otherwise, if you learned anything from this video, please go ahead and smash the like button. Make sure you like and share the video. Also, check the links in the description. And also, please, I don't trade for anybody. I will never message you first. Be aware of the scammers. There are a lot of impersonators who are pretending to be me. So do not let anybody scam you and take your money. All right? You work hard for your money. Protect it. Don't be stupid. Don't be silly. Always don't be naive. Always be careful and be conscious. One more thing before I let you go, guys, is trading is hard, but it's easy at the same time. It's going to take a long time, at least a couple of years, for someone to adopt and become a good trader or quit trading in general. Most people start trading as a hobby and then they start quitting it for the first 18 months or so. So if this is what you want to do for the rest of your life, you have to be very patient. You have to be very dedicated. You have to be very consistent. Okay? And you have to be able to trade every single day, the session that you trade, regardless of any opportunity. You got to sit in front of the computer, manage your risk, pick a pair. Like let's say I usually trade GBP/USD and gold. So pick a pair, the volatility hours of that pair, and then trade that session. Okay, get used to the chart, stare at the chart, replay the chart, play with the chart, back test it. Okay, take time on the chart so that you can get better in trading. All right, trading is not a magic. This is like any other profession. If you go to school to be a doctor, it's going to take you probably about 12 years, and then you make minimum salary. How much do they make a year? Probably $300,000, $400,000. So if you want to make more money than the doctor, what makes you think that you don't need to put time? Trading is not a gamble. It is a work, it's a business. So make sure you're dedicated and make sure you spend time on the chart. Without saying much, guys, thank you very much for visiting the channel today. I really appreciate it for your time and energy, and I hope you learned something new. As always, I give a lot of value on this channel, a lot of premium information. So make sure you subscribe. Until then, your brother Jamal, peace and love.